Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I bid to my lecturer, Dr. Sayang binti Muhammad Deni, and to my fellow friends. So, for our group, we will be presenting our statistics on the epidemiology of breast cancer in Malaysia. So, before we begin our presentation, I would like to introduce ourselves first. So, first of all, my name is Muhammad Imeh Farhan bin Muhammad Iskandar, along with two of my members, Engku Alia Syafiqah binti Engku Abdul Aziz, and Zainur Ikmal Munirah binti Muhammad Nur.
Breast cancer remains the most common cancer among women globally, with significant regional and demographic variations in incidence, diagnosis, and survival. In Malaysia, it constitutes a major public health concern, affecting approximately 1 in 20 women throughout their lifetime. According to the National Cancer Registry of Malaysia, the age standardized incidence rate ASR in 2003 was 46.2 per 100,000 women, with notable disparities among ethnic groups where Chinese women showing the highest incidence, followed by Indian and Malay women. Despite a relatively younger age of onset compared to Western countries, many Malaysian women present at later stages of the disease, particularly among the Malay population. The objectives for this assignment are to explore the relationship between age and breast cancer incidence rates using descriptive statistical methods, and to examine the relationship between risk factors and breast cancer occurrence.
So, here is the data that we are going to introduce for our topic. As you can see, the breast cancer data is based on the number of cases in Malaysia, which is in 2003. Our data comprises of two variables, which are age and number of cases, both of which are considered ratio data. As for age, it is considered quantitative continuous variable and an independent variable. Whereas for number of cases, it is a quantitative discrete variable. Since number of cases change based on age, therefore number of cases is a dependent variable. And below here, as you can see, is the URL link that we use to analyze our data.
The methodology used are first, secondary data collection from National Cancer Registry of Malaysia. For data analysis, descriptive statistics including measures of central tendency and data dispersion. Third, using Microsoft Excel to generate graph and charts to represent the data.
Here, we present you our data analysis. Basically, we need to calculate three things, which are measure of central tendency, measure of dispersion, and 5-number summary. For measure of central tendency, we get to find mean, mode, median, and mid-range. Mean is calculated based on the summation of product between frequency and midpoint. The summation will be divided by the total frequency. Therefore, mean is 51.27. As for mode, it is found through identifying its model class first, then a specific formula is used. Therefore, the mode is 48.25. The median is found through identifying its median location and median class. Then a specific formula is also used. Therefore, median is 50.47. The mid-range is calculated by summing up minimum and maximum. Then it is divided by 2. So the mid-range is 628.5. For measure of dispersion, we get to find the variance and the standard deviation. The variance is 128.838 and the standard deviation is the square root of variance. So the standard deviation is 11.35. Pearson coefficient of skewness is found when we have mean, mode, and standard deviation. So the value of Pearson is 0.26. As you can see here, the data shown is positively skewed. This is because the value of Pearson is more than 0, which also means that the mean has the highest value, followed by median and mode. For 5-number summary, minimum is 2, quartile 1 is 42.94, quartile 2 is 50.47, quartile 3 is 58.66, and maximum is 1255. And to conclude our calculation for measure of central tendency, the median is the best measure because the data gathered is skewed and has an asymmetrical distribution shape. From the data, we observe that there is a high likelihood for a woman to face the risk of breast cancer as age increases. So this indicates that our analysis supports our expected findings.
While studying the data on breast cancer cases by age group, we found several interesting patterns that are worth highlighting. First, there's a clear trend showing that the majority of breast cancer cases occur between the ages of 40 to 59. This suggests that age is a significant risk factor for breast cancer. As a woman grows older, particularly around this age range, their hormonal levels change, and this hormonal activity plays a big role in increasing the risk. That's why we see a spike of cases during these years. Secondly, we discovered that Chinese and Indian women have higher incident rates compared to Malay women. Specifically, 1 in 16 Chinese and Indian women are affected, while for Malay women it's 1 in 28. This difference is believed to be influenced by reproductive and lifestyle factors. For example, Chinese women are more likely to have fewer children, delay childbirth, and breastfeed for shorter periods. So how do these factors increase the risk of breast cancer? During pregnancy, a woman's body produces high levels of hormones like progesterone which help to mature the breast cells, making them more resistant to cancer later in life. Women who don't experience pregnancy or have fewer pregnancies miss out on this protective effect, leaving their breast cells more vulnerable over time. Also, the earlier a woman has her first full-term pregnancy, the sooner her breast tissue matures, reducing the risk. On the other hand, delaying childbirth means a longer period where the breast cells remain immature and are more sensitive to mutations. When it comes to breastfeeding, it's also protective because it suppresses ovulation, which lowers estrogen exposure throughout a woman's life. Estrogen is a hormone known to stimulate breast cell growth, so less exposure means lower risk. Breastfeeding also helps in shedding old breast tissue and removing damaged cells, further reducing the chances of cancer. So when breastfeeding duration is short or skipped, women have more ovulation cycles, higher estrogen exposure, and consequently a higher risk of developing a breast cancer. Next, we also look into why the incidence appears lower in Malay women. One explanation is that the numbers may not reflect the full picture. Many Malay women prefer traditional treatment methods, which means they may not seek medical diagnosis or treatment in hospitals, especially back in the early 2000s. This can result in underreporting of cases. Because of this, Malay women are more likely to be diagnosed at later stage. When the tumor has already grown larger, this late stage presentation is one of the reasons why Malay women tend to have poorer survival outcomes, despite what looks like a lower incidence on paper. To wrap up our findings, we would like to highlight 3 key conclusions based on the statistical analysis of the breast cancer data. First, we found that the middle age is the highest risk period of breast cancer. The mean, median, and mode all point to women in their late 40s and early 50s, which aligns with the age group that recorded the highest number of cases. This clearly shows that as age increases, so does the risk of developing breast cancer, especially once women enter their 40s. Second, even though breast cancer can occur at different ages, the cases are mostly concentrated within a focused age range. When we look at the quartiles, we saw that 50% of all recorded cases fall between the ages of around 43 to 59. This indicates a strong central trend and reinforces the importance of early screening and monitoring in specific age group. Lastly, the data shows a positively skewed pattern, meaning that there are very few cases in the younger age groups, and the members rise steeply as women age. The highest spike is in the 40 to 49 age group, while the lowest is in children under 10. This skewed distribution emphasizes that although breast cancer is less common in young women, the risk increases significantly with age, and awareness campaigns should be tailored accordingly.